it's a hot summer day. You take a drink of cold water and you get this searing pain through your mouth. Is that a bad tooth? What's going on? Hey, we're here to talk with a holistic dentist to find out some options to safely treat your teeth without making your body toxic. I'm Dr. Marty Furlong with Metro's Natural Healing Center. I'm a holistic physician looking for ways to detoxify bodies safely so that your chronic health problems can resolve. I also have a doctorate in chiropractic. Now, with me today is Dr. Amy Truong. And Doc, tell me a little bit about yourself. What's your background?
Hi. Oh, thanks for coming in. It is hot out there. My kids were out in the pool, so
Oh, nice.
it wasn't like a mini pool, but they're only 1 and 4 years old, so it's
Okay.
yeah. But if you're having that ice cold ice cream and your tooth hurts, that's what we're there for. So,
Absolutely.
how did I get into dentistry? It's kind of
How'd you get in dentistry and holistic dentistry? How'd you get attracted to that?
yeah. So dentistry, kind of crazy. Just love teeth. It makes me sound weird, but I just love teeth. But holistic dentistry brings it to a whole nother level, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, just growing up, my parents are, even though they don't, call it holistic, Chinese, and so they use a lot of, herbal medicines, support. We talked about meridians prior to this, kind of.
Yes.
Oriental medicine, I guess, is what a lot of people will call it. And going through school and learning more, I feel like it's really the way we should live life, kind of bring you back to the roots. And you can do that with dentistry as well, which is pretty cool. So I learned that through working at a holistic office and practicing in LA, which is very progressive in holistic dentistry in California. And then now I'm in Oakdale in Minnesota. So it's perfect. And we, even though it's Minnesota and, people think like, where's Minnesota? It's the Midwest, but, it's very progressive, which is great.
It is. It is. The Midwest community, I was in natural healthcare my whole life. You actually grew up and didn't even know it.
Right.
But my father was a natural healthcare provider and born and raised in natural healthcare. I totally get what you're saying. It's like the natural part of life, and people do what to their body, and it's hard to believe, And in dentistry, I can imagine the options, would be very different with that one. Now, what makes holistic dentistry maybe different than normal dentistry? Like, do you have some special things that you do with that, or what goes on?
Yeah. So even more nowadays, there's so many, allergies or toxins or what are you putting in your mouth? It's really important because we are more sensitive in our bodies. And I just think that with all the processing and, mass production of things, our bodies are reacting more because there are so many outside things attacking our bodies. So for holistic dentistry, some things that you wouldn't even know when you're going to get your teeth cleaned, we find special products to help clean your teeth that's gluten-free. Our paste is gluten-free, fluoride-free. We are a fluoride-free office, and we have lots of natural alternatives to help remineralize your teeth, which I know we'll talk about later, rebuilding your teeth. Because obviously you want to maintain your teeth at a good, healthy level. And what are those natural alternatives? So we do the research to help our patients naturally, which is good. And then choosing the right products for the patients and helping them find the right products, because not every product is the same. It doesn't react the same for every patient. So, and you might know that as well as nutrition and body isn't the same. Some people fall to this, but they might fall to another thing. So we're very open-minded, which is great for our patients. We're there to listen and kind of find the best thing the best care for them that works for their body.
Absolutely. I had switched from a conventional dentistry situation to your clinic, which is great surprise. Like, you're right here near us. It was fabulous. And the fun thing, the first experience I ever had was you gave me chlorella to swish around my mouth to pull out the heavy metals that we were extracting, like a bad filling, right? Mm-hmm. And I went, wow, this is way cool, and so that's great to see those types of products used, like you're saying. And I didn't know that you had gluten-free toothpaste. That was awesome. Chlorine-free, that's way cool, because we see a ton of that in our patients right now with the hyper cleaning going on with the whole pandemic thing. These toxic chemicals out, like chlorine, are essential for a stable body.
Yeah, and fluoride is
Yes.
a fluoride in the toothpaste, it's in a lot of toothpaste, but a lot of people maybe don't need it. So there's a good natural alternative like xylitol. It's made out of birch. So you'll
Yeah.
actually find that even in like Tom's toothpaste, which is very mainstream.
Yeah.
One that's, there's other things like earth paste, things that are on Whole Foods that you can even find. So yeah, I think it's great. There's so many natural alternatives that maybe, it's not just Colgate and Crest. I mean, I mean, a lot of people use Colgate and Crest. I don't want to say bad things about them. And, it's, but there are natural alternatives. And even those companies are making, natural mouthwashes, things that, different options to help open the door for patients that don't just need alcohol mouthwashes. You can make your own mouthwash with like coconut oil or
Yeah.
essential oils. So, we can talk more about those. Like, I really like making coconut oil with maybe an essential oil in it. And
Yeah.
every person, if your gums are bleeding, maybe you want to use echinacea or eucalyptus, or, there's different kind of things you want to blend in with it. But, it's good to know what you can use alternatively to like a very harsh alcohol mouthwash. When I use an alcohol mouthwash personally, it burns my mouth and it doesn't make it good. So yeah, there's lots of alternatives out there.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because a lot of times there might be a sense of if it's not burning, it's not working, and so that's
Right.
actually kind of it's harsh on the body to do that. Definitely. So just to build a little bit off of the coconut oil, there's a whole concept of called oil pulling with the
Yes.
mouth,
Yes.
and basically what your body will do is dump toxins in that oil as you swish it around. So
Yes.
and so that's great. That I agree with you on that coconut oil. But I
Yeah.
never added the essential oils to it. That's great. That's a great plan with that one.
So what I do is I get, I love Costco.
Yeah.
Big thing of the coconut oil, which I use for cooking, or actually
Yeah.
for like facial lotion, especially in the winter. You can put it in a little chapstick, which you can use, during the day.
Sure.
Which patients taught me to put it in there. But for
Yeah.
most, I just get like a little glass bottle, and I will make my own mouthwash, and you put a couple drops of essential oil that you like. You don't need to go overboard. And then you
Yeah.
just take a quarter teaspoon and then swish around with it, 3 to 20 minutes. They
Yeah.
recommend 20 minutes, but that's a long time.
You have to build up to that. You have to build a tolerance to stay in the mouth that
Right.
long.
Very good jaw muscles.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Swish around, and a lot of people don't know, but coconut oil has vitamin A and E in it. So
Mhm.
it's rejuvenating your gums, which is good. We kind of need that coconut oil to help all those acids and things that are building up on our teeth. So it's
Totally. That's great. Yeah. The coconut oil is a natural antimicrobial too. So by using it on your skin or in your mouth, you're actually supporting the body, fighting out these bugs. And from a dental world, I mean, that's what you guys are doing with a lot of gingivitis. There's a lot of bugs in there. Is that right?
Right. It's great because not only is it have vitamins in it, but the mechanical motion of swishing, it takes up bacteria, the bugs in your mouth, helping, take all that out. And also your mouth is acidic from what we're eating. So by
Yeah.
swishing out all the bad acids, the coconut oil can help replenish it and get your mouth to be more basic, which is, what we're ultimately trying to do is make your mouth basic, the pH basic, so then there's less cavities.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, that's good. So, yes, there's natural ways of doing that, trying to prevent those cavities. Now, you do something special in your clinic that I love, and it actually corresponds with our clinic. You actually have test kits that will anything they're going to put into someone's mouth that basically be in their body for decades potentially. They can be tested to see if your body is in agreement with that item. Is that awesome? Is that right?
That's right.
So what type of procedures or materials are we talking about?
It could be anything from, let's say you need a filling. The kit we call it our dental biocompatibility testing kit.
Yeah.
So it has lots of dental materials, multiple fillings. And at our office, we only use white fillings. White fillings that we use are BPA free. So BPA is kind of like things that they don't have baby products and plastics. So because it's estrogen disruptor. So definitely if I feel like I digress, but I think it's very important that we don't have, things that you don't need that are toxic in the system. We try to find the best product. So our fillings are BPA free, but we have in the kit multiple BPA free white fillings. We don't do silver fillings because those have mercury in them. But also, like, let's say you needed a denture, we can always put a kit together where there's different types of denture materials, because that's something you'll have in your mouth for a long time.
Absolutely.
They might bring the kit and bring it to a practitioner like you. I think you do. We do have referred many patients over for biocompatibility testing, which kind of I don't do. So maybe you can tell them a little bit more about that.
Sure. So, Amy, what we do in our clinic, and we shared this, was we do muscle testing. And so through muscle testing, we can find the exact items that your body agrees with or doesn't agree with. And it's actually at a cellular level we're asking this. So if the body has something toxic put into it, it will always be a low-grade stress to it. So by doing this biocompatibility testing, we can put things in, we can give you, testing results that now the patient will only have things that support the body's health versus interfere with it for the next 10, 20 years in there. And so it's nice to avoid the bad stuff, actually put in the good stuff. So that's great stuff, great with that one. But there's a way to actually test a body to see what it likes and doesn't like. So it's a great thing with that one.
Yeah.
How much in this world with your patients, how much gingivitis, gum disease do you see with patients? 10%, 20, 50, 75%? Where are you at with that?
So many.
Yeah.
We have gingivitis is essentially inflammation of the gums.
Yeah.
Bleeding, or, when you floss and a little blood comes out, 90%, I would say.
Yeah.
So that's why all the advertisements say, this will help with your gingivitis, bleeding gums is very, very high up there in problems for patients. So what are things that can help with that? We already talked about the coconut oil pulling.
Yeah.
I'm finding a good product that works for toothpaste.
Yeah.
Obviously if you're allergic and, allergies, like a true allergy, but maybe if you're not reacting well to a toothpaste.
We call it sensitivity.
Yes, a sensitivity.
Yeah.
So let's say, you get a free toothpaste and you are like, oh, I just want to use it, but it burns your gums. Probably not a good product to use.
I agree.
That happens pretty often, even mouthwashes. I don't use a lot of mouthwashes unless I make it myself because it burns my gums. And everybody's different. But gingivitis, brushing, flossing is a really hard thing for people, and I get it.
Yeah.
Things we can encourage to help with that. And obviously, like, we might recommend water pick, which is a water reservoir, and then it sprays pressurized water between your gums.
Yeah.
But a cool thing you can do is if you have essential oils, you can, or like a mouthwash that you like, and we use an essential oil mouthwash at our office. It's already pre-made. So you could put a little bit in that water pick. Then not only are you cleaning out your gums to help prevent this, you're also getting the benefit of the anti-inflammatory response from the essential oil. So like eucalyptus and things like that. So I think it's a really cool option for patients who maybe don't love flossing. A water pick is a good option.
Yeah. I tell you what, I love these ideas you're giving. The concept of using essential oils for, like, say, the water pick. What a great concept! So it's great that that we have a practitioner that understands the benefit of that, for a patient. I was going to jump in at the gingivitis at home. What can you do? In our clinic, what we'll do, we'll actually muscle test or touch, not inside the mouth, but outside the mouth, the gum line, and it will tell us a ton of information. Why is that gum line not functioning well? And there's two parts that goes on with that. One is the proper care you're talking about and getting the proper instruction through a holistic dentist. But more than that, we can find out potentially what's dietarily causing that inflammation that's keeping the body unstable, and what is the correct nutritional supplements that can support rapid healing of that. And when you put the dental care with the home care that we can direct around supplements and procedures, we can see some great healing. What happens long term? I know we're doing a dental lesson here, but I'll share it anyhow. What happens if they don't manage their gingivitis? What can happen?
So you bring up a great point on how your body is linked to your teeth. And one, obviously, the immediate result, if you don't take care of your gingivitis, you could get a tooth infection. You get that pain that we talked about at the beginning, and the bleeding gums. And eventually, if you don't take care of it, your tooth might get wiggly and you might lose the tooth. Kind of the end result of if you don't take care of your teeth, which is, we try to do a lot more with prevention at our office. We do recommend, I understand, we're very considerate about people. It's been 10, 15, 20 years since you've been to the dentist. Yeah. We're here for you. I mean, it's all about getting started. But then when you get started, trying to maintain it. So then you're not trying to put out fires. You're just trying to do the prevention, which is a lot easier. But like you said, if you don't take care of it, things can happen to your tooth. But also going beyond that is, teeth are related to meridians, so kind of like acupuncture. You might press a little or a point here, and you'll feel a little tingle on your toe, which is really bizarre. Same thing with your tooth. So with Asian medicine or Oriental medicine, like your front tooth is related to your kidney. So you wouldn't maybe even know, but if you went to your office, you do those nutritional testings or a kinesiology where you could test that kind of thing. I don't do the kinesiology because I really am an expert at dentistry.
Yes.
This is something that I think is great that you have that option, because people don't realize, the meridians really are a big important part of, maintaining your health of your body, of your mouth. Because, if you feel healthy and you're doing all the right things, but suddenly you're kind of stuck and you feel sick and doing all the right things, it might be because of a tooth or because your brain and your kidney aren't reacting well to an infection in your tooth, which you didn't even know. So
yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we just had a patient report today. She was all happy. She came into the clinic saying, geez, she was suffering with this chronic tension in her head and neck. Her digestive tract was all upset. And we checked her last week. It really came down to a tooth. We really had to hunt on this and found a tooth. And it wasn't something that we could help her with, meaning it was physical, which means dentistry, right? Mm-hmm. And so getting that patient into the dentist was great. Basically, what they found was she was grinding. She has bruxism or grinding her teeth. They gave her a small little bite plane, and by doing the right dental thing, all of a sudden, she said, I woke up the next morning and my 6 months or whatever length time it was that she had been suffering with all these things were resolved in that short time. But through the muscle testing, getting the right dental approach, and a non-toxic dental approach was really important. And that's why it's great that that's available at the services you do with that one. Hey, we do have a question that popped up here. It says, what do you use in your homemade mouthwash?
So that's a good question. Yeah. I like the pre-made one. It's called Tooth and Gums Tonic. Okay. And some main ingredients that are in there is peppermint, eucalyptus, and echinacea, which are really good. It's very refreshing. And it helps with inflammation for your gums. So, if you were to make your own, I would recommend using distilled water. And put a couple drops, depending on how strong. Some people like things really strong, but obviously don't put essential oils directly in your mouth because you need a carrier. You need to dilute it. It might burn your gums, which would be worse. But I would maybe put a couple drops of, if you're trying to make your own, peppermint or eucalyptus, and then you can swish it around for 15, 30 seconds and then spit out. But if you want to go the easy route, the Gums Tonic is really good.
Yeah, that sounds great. And they sound tasty. That's especially the peppermint one. Yeah, that's great. Hey, I'm going to jump track a little bit. We talked about this a little earlier, and that was tooth demineralization. Mm-hmm. So, Dr. Truong, what do you see in your clinic? What results in that? What do you get to see walking in your door?
So that's a really common question for our patients. We're a lot more conservative type of office where, we see a patient and there might be, we call it like a baby cavity, even though it's an adult tooth. Yeah. What we try to encourage is remineralization. Obviously, if half of your tooth is gone, we can't rebuild it. But if there's a small baby cavity, and this kind of leads back to prevention, is we want to try to remineralize it. So when it's small, I can take a look and say, oh, this one, it's going to maybe become a cavity if you continue to eat sweets, sugars, acids, things that are breaking down your teeth. And, the holidays come around. It's, it's nice. You want that ice cream, but it kind of is a little reminder to say, okay, I could avoid getting a filling if I ate the right things,
Yeah.
and brush and floss, and then also maybe some supplements. So we do actually recommend, diet-wise, if you're not vegan or vegetarian, I really do appreciate like bone broth. We always have, especially in my parents' house, like 2 pots of bone broths going on, and it's just so good for your body, for your bone health, because that's holding up your teeth. And then vegetables, fruits, but we don't get around to all of that, so that's where supplements come along, calcium, vitamin D, and I usually give recommendations directly on what you need because I don't do specific testing, but I think at your office you do that, correct?
Yeah, we do absolutely do that. So we'll see. I have a great story about another patient, happened to be my son, by the way. Okay, he's a 20-year-old college student, and he comes home and said, "Buddy, have you been into the dentist lately?" And no, he hasn't. He goes in, he has 6 cavities. This is a kid that's never had a cavity, so college life isn't real nice. And so he goes back to school. Nothing came of it. Shows up 6 months later. I said, "Did you ever get your teeth handled?" And he said, "No." But he follows our nutrition response testing, our muscle testing very closely, follows everything. And he's at college, whatever they're feeding him there at the time. So he did take a little more control of that. Came back 6 months later, went to the dentist to get his 6 cavities filled. They all remineralized. Okay. Yeah. So now we'll have very specific things called, one's called BIOS, the other one's called BioDent, calcium lactate. We have all these Mintran. We have all these different mineral and support pieces that when a patient tests for them, it will change their dental health. But they have to test for them, and that's one model doesn't fit all. It's very unique with the muscle testing that we use in the dental health. But it's neat to hear from a dentist. Your goal is, can we remineralize those baby cavities, right?
Yeah, no, I love it when we can say, patients might come and say, I had a recommendation to get a filling, and they were, can you just look at it again? And sometimes like, yeah, you totally need a filling because that cavity is huge. Or if you're really good and do your homework, we'll check it in 6 months, and it's just like your son. It's such a great feeling. You come back and they're like, I've been flossing really good. I've been brushing every day, and my diet's been, spot on. I've been eating healthy, and, the cavity hasn't gotten worse, which is great,
Yes. Yeah.
We see kids at our office too, and I just love it. We have a kid who, might come in and they have a really bad cavity. Actually, this happens a lot because kids are sugar, and, I have a 4-year-old and she's my boss. So
yes.
they say you only should eat fruits and vegetables, it's real life. So you try to help brush, floss, but let's say your kid does have a cavity, and this happens so often. They'll come in, your parent, as a parent, you feel so bad. You feel like you failed, right? I mean, but we can get in there. We try to fix it, minimal. We try to, do a filling if we can, or remineralize it naturally. And we've had so many success stories where, it's years have come by and the kid loves the dentist because they didn't have to get a tooth pulled, and the tooth is still fine after we remineralized it. So, those success stories are just so great. So it's just wonderful when you can help them with, nutrition and with remineralization.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Just saving the cavities, that's saving the drilling of the teeth is a good thing. So what age should children start getting their teeth checked? What's your recommendation on that?
So I would recommend about 6 months after, their first tooth has come out. So kids don't get teeth until they're 1 year old. Some it's 6 months. And, they're not going to be getting the works when they come. Most likely the first time we'll check, make sure they have the right amount of teeth coming in. Their teeth are looking healthy. So usually that ends up being about 1 to 2 years old for their first appointment for a checkup. Sure. What we like to encourage is patients coming in for kids when it's, easy. So it might be like, oh, that appointment was 10 minutes long, which was great. Yeah. They had fun, they got a sticker or a toy. But encouraging those good appointments are still good, even if every time you get a pat on the back and you say, hey, that kid is doing an amazing job. You're doing an amazing job. Those are important appointments. So usually 1 or 2. And then when they get to 3 or 4, getting a cleaning in to keep it, start that good routine about every 6 months is what we recommend.
Sure. That's great. Okay. So I got to give you an endorsement on something. I'm a total dental phobe. Okay. When I came into your clinic, I let you and your staff know that right away. And I have to say, I'm not afraid of my visits anymore. But then you're so gentle and your techniques were so good. And then knowing natural healthcare, I had tremendous confidence. I had like a broken filling that we had to replace one time. And you used some really special things protecting you, your staff, and me during this. Do you want to share a little bit about that, like removing silver fillings? What happens there?
So it's also a main thing. A lot of people will come, maybe from Oakdale, but maybe from South Dakota, because our office does have special precautions with the mercury that's in silver fillings. So silver fillings are called silver fillings because they look silver, but they're actually made out of 50% mercury. When you're eating or when you're drinking something hot, minimal amounts of mercury is released. But in a case where your tooth might have been broken and we need to take out the silver filling, what we do is we do safe amalgam precautions at our office. So we have extra vacuums we put kind of by your mouth. We use the chlorella, which we talked about, because chlorella, activated charcoal, help bind to heavy metals like mercury. So we procedure, and a dam to help with a suction to help suck up the mercury vapors. So we're really trying to reduce the amount of mercury that's exposed to you. I have been accredited with IOMT. So what that is we go through the extensive testing process, training process in order to do everything as safe as possible. So there's lots of things we put on bonnets. It kind of feels like it's like a hazmat. Really, we want to protect ourselves and the patient. I think it's so important. I think I used to actually have silver fillings, and I thought, well, it's just what my dentist gave me, which is fine. And then as I learned more about it, I realized, I don't want this in my body anymore. I'm trying to be healthy. I try to eat healthy, and these fillings aren't just going to come out themselves. So I want to be proactive about my health. So it's something that some people want to do. But of course, if it's just you have a cavity and we're replacing it, we still want to use those precautions, and we have that available for patients just to protect your body.
Yeah, that was great. And actually, that was a big impression. A great impression I had was I was told the holistic dentist can tell who really knows what they're doing. Everything you just talked about, how you protected you and your staff. And you guys really did take the routes, because that mercury, I'm going to say gases, are released when you're doing it. And more than that, it's interesting a little bit when you hear about the mercury, is that the mercury is stable, the filling, until it's been abrased, chewing on it, or heated, something warm, and it releases the gas. And so that can get into the body. And now mercury tends to be especially adhesive to brain cells. And so that's the work we do. You get to get it out of their mouth, but I get to find it where it's lodged in the body. And we use really holistic procedures to let the body gently release that. We don't want to just stir it up like a pot. We want to stir it up and then get it out of the pot. So there's kind of two things: get it released out of the tissue and then out of the body. That's the work that we do. We do it all through what's called applied kinesiology or muscle testing, the correct nutritional supplements for that individual to help draw that out safely and carefully. Some of the really chronic cases we see have a heavy metal background to what's causing their body to fall apart. So that's a great combination. Get the big mercury out and then clean up all that extra debris that's been in there. That's what we do.
A lot of our patients will ask, do you know someone who does mercury testing or can help me with the detox? So you do mercury testing as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Every patient that walks in the door is tested.
Yeah, so it's great. There's so many, maybe autoimmune issues out there, and, just trying to be more healthy. It's good to know exactly what to attack, other than I'm going to buy every supplement in the world. Not going to help you if it's not, you're not doing the right thing for your body. So that's great that you do the testing, because that's exactly what patients are looking for.
Yeah, and it's not a guessing game. We get to test, and it's really about what your body needs, the exact dose, and when you're done with it too. That's the great thing. The body, we can watch the mercury leave the body. We have ways we test that, and then when it's gone, it's a great thing. Now, Doc, what we have is this is so good. Boy, we ripped through this half an hour in no time flat.
Yes.
Do you have any finishing questions or statements or anything else?
I think it's so great that we have resources like your office and practitioners or natural health medicine practitioners out there that can support each other and our patients. I just think it's such a good network we have.
Yes.
And I just want patients, and that's what we're there for. Is we're there for you, which is, it's just wonderful. At Pure Dental, we see all kinds of problems. It might just be a perfect teeth, and that's wonderful. I love it too. I love maintaining people with perfect teeth, but we even have people for my family that I'm like, we need to do this and this and this, and nutrition wise, and we're there for everybody. So I just love the community we have here. So
yeah, it is a great community. Hey, if people want to get in contact with you, do you have any contact you'd like to share that they can?
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's Pure Dental in Minnesota. So puredental.com, and all the information's on there. I think a couple of things we talked about, how to make coconut oil rinses, xylitol, what kind of toothpaste to use. We do have a link on our website. So, and under personal resources, patient resources. So you can find that kind of stuff on our website, how to call us with any questions.
Yeah, that's great. So they should reach out. I'm Dr. Marty Furlong from Metris Natural Healing Center. I want to say thank you, Dr. Truong. Oh, what great information. There's a ton more we didn't even touch on. And this is unfortunately our final on our virtual wellness series with us. Patients have really asked us to do more. So we do plan on doing through our clinic, Metris Natural Healing Center, to continue this series going maybe once a month through the summer. Maybe we'll get back and touch on dentistry again, because this is great stuff. Otherwise, this has been such a great informative session. Even being a patient, I didn't know half the stuff, half of the techniques and concepts you have, which is great. This has been very educational for me on this one too. So thank you. I wish everyone enjoy their great summer here in Minnesota. And more questions, feel free to contact us or Dr. Truong about this, and we'd love to help you out.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, have a great night. Bye now.
Bye.
Yeah.